Just reflecting back on life a little bit. Try to keep these roughly 10 minutes, so got ran over last time, so we're just gonna make this another part. So, alright, so looking back on life, I'm gonna talk a little bit about my brother. Man, growing up, I remember the very first fight we got into. I was 5, he was 3. And he decided that he wanted to argue that he was 5 and I was 3. That he was older. I remember we were arguing back and forth, and man, I got so mad. I just wanted to punch him. And I remember my mom had to get in the middle of us, in between us, and kind of settle us down. It's hilarious. And I remember just being so frustrated with him, and he would just he wouldn't give up. He just would not give up that argument, even though he was completely wrong. Yeah, he wouldn't give it up. So it's funny because the last time I saw him, went and visited him in Huntsville, and he almost died 3 times in the last 7 years. And there's that one time that he was gonna give up. He was done, and for some reason, he decided not to give up. It's inspiring. All the stuff that he's gone through, and a lot of it's all his own fault. He has no one to blame but himself, and still, he could have given up, and he chose not to. But you gotta respect that. You gotta respect him for that. He could have just, he could have given up, but he didn't. So. That's a little off key, doesn't it? That's alright. Haven't really perfected this one yet, so something I wrote, real basic, very simple, but besides the point. So yeah, that was my brother. Talk a little bit about my dad. Very emotional person. My brother's a lot like him, a whole lot. I tend to be more like my mother, very headstrong, can just deal with stuff. I think my mom stresses way more than I do, but she's had a lot to stress about over the years. But yeah, my dad. There was a time that he just, everything was going wrong for my parents. There's, early 80s, credit cards, it was that whole lifestyle that a lot of people were living. There were hot checks, bouncing everywhere. And, he decided that we were better off without him. I gotta say though, I gotta be honest, it really didn't affect me as much as it did my brother. Like I said, my brother was the emotional one. I just remember my mom she just kept going. You know, she didn't really stop. Now, that was, you know, in private, I don't know. You know, we didn't see um, what was going on in private. You know, for all I know, my brother knows, she could have been off, you know, in the other room crying herself to sleep. We just didn't know. I remember my mom being really afraid the day that he left. Uh, she left work, came up to the school, told me, you know, no matter what, don't get in the car with my dad. She was afraid that he was gonna run off with us. And I remember seeing when the principal came to the classroom, and I could see my mom crying, and I just had this feeling that someone had died, because the last time my mother came up to the school like that, I was in 3rd grade, and my grandfather had passed away, my father's father, and he and I were very close. My grandfather and I were very, very close. So I was afraid that's what had happened, but you know, it hadn't, and it was, you know, I guess you could say it was just as bad. Didn't know if I'd ever see my dad again. I just really didn't know what was going to happen. But so yeah, I guess it's really talking about my parents, and it's not just my dad. But I remember we were at a gas station, and my mom was having problems with the gas cap and everything, and my dad just drives up, and I mean, it's almost like a movie, you know, two people in love hadn't seen each other for a long time, and he just ran up to each other and hugged each other, and they were crying, and put gas in both cars, and we all went home together. You know, it wasn't a long period that he was gone. It was a couple of weeks. You know, for a child, that can be a very long time. And like I said, it just didn't quite affect me like it did my brother. So, yeah. Hey, thanks for watching. Catch you next time.